Okay, we with Nigel Simon here, a guy who has been around. I met him with the so-called Royals time, but now I'm finding out he was in business way before that. So Nigel, maybe in the beginning, while we're gonna touch on Trinidad and Tobago football, maybe you could give me a little bit of your background.
Well, actually came into the media via freelance format at Newsday. Learned my craft under greats George Harvey, George Batiste, Mr. John Bob. Spent a few years there freelance, and then I had the opportunity to move across to the Wire, which was now launching by Mr. Andy Johnson. I was grateful for that opportunity. I work with Urban Ward, Mrs. Medina, so some more senior journalists as well. And unfortunately, the Wire didn't last very long. It was folded into Guardian within 1 year. And since that time, to 2001 to 2019, I have been at Guardian Media.
All right. And you're predominantly in football.
Well, it started off basically in football, but when we now started in the media, we were taught to learn everything. Basically, I've covered Davis Cup lawn tennis in Trinidad. I've covered tennis, basketball, swimming, volleyball, hockey. I think the only thing I've never done in terms of media-wise in Trinidad is been to the racetrack at Santa Rosa to cover a horse racing event. That's the only thing I personally never covered basically.
Right. So this one going to be based on the football, Trinidad and Tobago football. So I know you're a man well versed in that.
Yeah.
What you've been around with the high point of the Soca Warriors in 2006.
Yeah.
And you see a drop.
Yeah.
I don't know if it seemed to be a drastic drop up to this point.
Well, to me, I wouldn't call it a drastic drop because even during the time of the Soca Warriors time, if you can recall properly, it wasn't a concern high for that team either because at the start of that campaign, it was Mr. Sinclair was in charge and the team was struggling and it needed some intervention by Mr. Jack Warner, who, if we can recall, there were some rumors that the first coach he was bringing was a former English coach. I think it was Ron Atkinson or somebody. I think some of the players, senior players at that point in time, wasn't in agreement. And I think he had an alternative in terms of Leo Benaka, who I can remember some senior former footballers were against his appointment. And I, being a fan of Real Madrid, I've known this person was a big time coach. So when I saw that he was the person coming, I was happy, and I think the players themselves who enter football as professionals more than me would have known, because from day one when he came here, you could see there was a different level of respect towards the coach, and the attitude of the whole team changed. And happily for us as a nation and for the team, we did manage to turn the tide and qualify for the World Cup. The only thing about qualifying for the World Cup for me, it was a great experience and a bad experience because I had the opportunity to be in Bahrain when the team actually qualified, but yet not being in Trinidad to really get a feel of that euphoria was a low point. But at the same time, with the high point, the team qualifying, I was there to see it live, but I wanted to be in Trinidad as well. Because when you're looking at the newspapers the next day, it was pandemonium, and that is what we live for.
Very well. So you've seen some changes in the coaching system as it stands, you know. Where do you think the football stands right now?
Well, definitely is a low point for us, but we have been to this point before because we have never been a nation to keep one coach for any long period of time. Any serious professional coach, you're always chopping and changing, and to me, I believe most of our problems stem from not having no long-term planning for any kind of competitions. I mean, we have seen the plus side of it. When we do have a coach and the team prepares well, we qualify. A big example of that was the under-20 team that qualified for Egypt.
Egypt, 2000.
I don't know whose real idea it was, but they were incorporated into the Super League, the All Sports Super League, and they had consistent matches playing as a team.
What about that?
Yeah, so that surely helped the team because there was grown fellas competing against grown men, and it wasn't no practice match. They were competing, being physical, being competitive, winning matches. So even though they weren't getting the international exposure to play international friendlies, they were playing at a very high level, and it worked for them during the qualifying campaign.
So anything could resemble that? Is there anything that could be done now? I remember that program. I remember when they put that team into
For me personally, our football needs to get restructured from primary school level. I mean, it's something that they have been saying for the longest while, but I know there's more primary schools now playing compared to when I used to play, so which means there are more players available to coaches. But we need to have a proper coaching structure in place. So we can't be just picking coaches from a club team to go coach a national team every top tournament that comes in. If you have a national program, you have zone coaches and you have a head coach at that age bracket. So probably have a national setup for the under 14s, but in each zone you have a zonal head coach. You do these things, but then sometimes when we want to appoint a club coach or coach a national team, there's always a biasness towards the clubs he come from. And we have seen that in national teams over and over. I don't think I have to call names, but it's very visible to anybody who has been around national football for the last 10 years or whatever. You hire a local coach, he picks majority of players who he knows. Sometimes you can't blame him, but to me, if they're not of the quality to make a national team, I'm not picking them because I'm picking their sake.
But the last two coaches, you have Dennis now and you have Stephen Hart. Stephen Hart wasn't per se a local coach. So
Well, I think Stephen was doing a very good job. And in all coaching careers as players and sportsmen, there's always a point when results doesn't go your way. But to me, that is the point when they need more support than ever. And I think Stephen's low point came at the time of the elections, new administration coming in, and not being an appointment of the incoming president. I think there was an opportune time for him to be asked by the. It may not have been the right choice, but you can't blame when someone new comes in. They have new vision, new ideas, and want to put new processes in place. So, while as a spectator, I would like to see him stay longer. I understand the changes made.
okay, and what do you think of the present situation, which was inherited in a tough position also? Most of these positions of the coaches seem to be tough because the programs doesn't seem to be there.
Well, coaches to me could only work with what they have, and to me right now there's nothing for them to work with. There's no local football playing professionally. There's no proper. To me, there's nothing in place. There's no solid base for them to build, no foundation. So you can't expect to get positive results. What's taking place?
But Nigel, so then what you propose? I know you proposed the primary school start from the bottom up.
But to me, that I know last month there was some seminars started to get football back on track. But how many times will we keep having these same seminars? Hearing the same people talking, because there are too many former national players who are across North America and Europe coaching. Sometimes they express their views on social media, but there's plenty talk. But when it's time to step forward, nobody's coming forward to do anything. There's an election coming up, and yet you can't even hear of a proper slate to run against the president. But they all have things to say. He's not doing well, he's not doing a good job, but ask him if there's a slate. There's no slate, so why talk about it, but they're not willing to step forward to help fix the problem, if there's a problem.
So for the people on the outside now who dying, I mean, they can't believe with the emergence of Curacao getting the Dutch players and everything else. They don't realize or they can't handle the fact that Trinidad and Tobago has gone so far down. Anything you can tell them to look forward to.
But for me, is that the emergence of Curacao, Haiti, Jamaica, even French Guyana, the Guyana team and all, this not happening fly by night. Trinidad has been on top for many years, and these countries aspire to be the same level as we, and they changed their whole approach. They went about the approach of scouting players some way. If you had to check back, the Dutch islands have players coming from Holland. Because if you look at Holland, Suriname, you have Seedorf and them coming. So some players coming back who don't make the Dutch teams, they come back and play for Suriname. So when we hear of Curacao, I'm thinking, Curacao beating Trinidad. They didn't know Curacao alone. They have a wide base of players who born in Holland, who parentage from Curacao. So yes, it might seem like a Caribbean country, but they have a wider base of talent, the same. And they are coming from a proper structure of football, the Dutch system, proper coaching.
So what do you think, and just closing, what do you think about the proposed home of football?
The home of football is a nice idea, well, that will soon come on stream because it gives the federation opportunity to save money and also house it in terms of saving money, in terms of our federation normally is on the lookout for money to put teams up in hotel and stuff. So having your own home, it saves you money. Easier access for training, they have a closer eye and a keeper watch on players, and you're going to have them there on a much more regular basis, homegrown players to go and train if allowed by the clubs. It also provides an opportunity for income when other teams from other sports want to use the facility.
So you see that as a win-win situation?
Yeah. It is a win-win long as they have the right approach, right attitude and mindset towards it, because sports is a business. Somehow in Trinidad we keep saying it's a business, but yet we don't understand the business and we don't support the business, because majority of the times when national teams have games, venues are empty. But when they win, we celebrate the most. We will flood the streets to run and celebrate.
Yeah.
And talk about, yes, they should get a medal, they should get a national award. But one time to really coming out and supporting the athletes when needed. Look, for instance, football is playing now on the outside. And as I explained to someone today, this Nation League thing, we don't see the bigger picture, because this goes towards ranking points, putting you in a better position towards qualification.
Exactly.
But the CPL cricket tonight, I'm not bashing CPL because I love cricket the same way. But as I explained to somebody, that is franchise cricket. When my national football team is playing, I put national team ahead of franchise anytime.
Yeah, it's bad. So and then even the support, even I've been here with a full stadium when the women's team was eliminated by, I think it was Ecuador, and the fans don't seem to know how to be the 12th man. They don't cheer, and when it do fall, it's just the rhythm section and stuff. I don't think the football.
We're not really, to me is that we are not it seems to me like we grew up watching football, not loving football. Whereas you see on TV, South American approach, and to me it stems from the players itself and the attitude, because these players from those Central American countries, Latin America and the African countries, they see sport as their survival, and that transcends down into the family, because like if one person do good from that area, majority of the times they go out into professional clubs and they come back and take care of the village.
Yeah.
We don't have that approach here. Our approach is if one person goes out and he might do good, most times they come back and look down on the village.
Yeah. Well, that's a kind of culture shock. I'm noticing. But well, Nigel, it was nice meeting you tonight again, and I want to thank you for this information, because you are a very experienced guy, and the public will realize you're taking your time and you're bringing all the information forward. So I want to thank you.
That's what I say to the public as well. Don't give up on China football. in sports, there will always be a high point and a low point, but you will get back on top.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.